it brings to mind what Mike Davis said recently in that wonderful interview he gave to The Guardian, that there's so much unmobilized love in the world.
I
And
love that.
one needs that now more than ever, because we tend to despair, but actually, as you said, we can do the opposite. We can make the opposite more powerful. I just
Can
have,
I say one thing,
yeah,
Fatima? Just
please.
a little thing just to share with you, which actually hasn't been made public, but Aleh's family shared with me a letter that he wrote a couple of weeks ago
Hmm.
from prison, and they were really worried because he writes them a letter a week, and one week there was no letter, and they thought something had gone wrong, that maybe he had, he's very sick, and they're very worried about his health. And then they got a follow-up letter, and he said, no, I wrote you. I would never not write you, but they confiscated the letter. It was about climate change and action. He was worried about in jail, thinking about.
And support him and keep him in your mind in the coming weeks, and beyond. I just have really one more sort of big-ish question, and then, well, maybe two questions, and then we can try and open it up. So if anyone has questions, can you put them in the chat, and we will come to you shortly. I'm just wanting to talk to you, Naomi, about what the climate envoy to the US, John Kerry, said at the UN General Assembly. Just recently, when he was asked about reparations, John Kerry said, "You tell me the government in the world that has trillions of dollars, because that's what it costs." I mean, that comes.
We all know the government who has trillions of dollars.
He was the one talking, but it seemed to me obscene. It seemed a kind of obscenity that the US climate envoy could say something like that. And then today I was talking to a friend about the conversation we're going to have, and she pointed me in the direction of Professor Miles Allen, who talks about the fact that fossil fuel companies could fix the climate crisis, he says, within a generation, if they wanted to. And the example he gives is, he talks about the ozone issue, and he says, we didn't fix the ozone by not wearing deodorant. We fixed it by going to the companies that caused the problem and saying, fix it. And the same, he feels, could be true of fossil fuel companies. And I'm just wondering, if you think that's possible, what would one need to do to make that possible? And I'm also reminded of what Professor Chomsky suggests, which is jail time for CEOs that don't reduce their emissions. I mean, which of these is the most realistic?